Tesla has made major changes to the Model Y and the Model 3 to make them cheaper. The Model Y, as I reported, I think about a week ago, is now $39,990 US. But this affordable version of the Model Y is only coming to the United States at this point in time, at least anyway. And the affordable version of the Tesla Model 3, which will be $36,990 US, is also only coming to the United States, at least at this point in time. Anyway, I personally think neither of these cars is a good option. And the discount in price of $5,500 US is not even close to justifying the enormous losses in the car in terms of range, charging speed, features. There's huge changes that have been made to the cars, and I think the discounts should be even bigger than what they are. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. And here are the details. Finally, the so-called affordable versions of the Model 3 and the Model Y have been revealed. Pretty big changes. They're called standard. You can see on Tesla's website, they're missing some pretty major features like FM radio. You can use digital radio still, so that's okay. But anyway, FM radio has been removed. There's also seat control buttons that have been removed. The only way you can adjust the seats is through the touchscreen. Not the end of the world, I guess, but yeah, that's one of the changes as well. Equipment, the changes to the features in the cars mean the price has been reduced by $5,000 US, which is $7,600 Australian to $5,500 US for the Model Y, which is $8,350 Australian. So big discount in prices. I still don't think it's actually worth it though. Getting back to those prices, $36,990 for the Model 3 and $39,990 for the Model Y. That's US prices. But that means the Model Y is 60,700 Australian dollars. I mean, it's cheaper than that in Australia already without all these feature deletions. So really, the price in Australia is $4,000 cheaper than that just for the standard range Model Y here in Australia, which doesn't miss out on all this stuff. Well, most of it doesn't miss out on anyway. So yeah, like I said, I don't think it's going to sell very well. I think there's too many things that are missing. There's more than what I reported on, far more than what we knew. So what are those big changes? First of all, Model Y is badged as standard. So it's now called the Model Y Standard, and there's the Model 3 Standard. As you can see, the headlights have been changed. I think the headlights actually look fine. No changes to the Model 3 headlights, just changes to the Model Y headlights. They're getting rid of that single strip that goes all across the front, that single LED light bar, and obviously you can see there's now the two standard looking headlights. Clearly no changes to the Model 3's headlight because it never had that big light bar. In addition to that though, deleted is the full width light bar on the back as well. And there's new LED taillights without the center section, including the reflective effect on the back. Now, I don't think anyone's going to care too much about that. Other changes, front and rear bumpers have been changed. There is a body colored section on the tailgate and new rear window aperture because of the fact that the glass roof has been removed. There is new 18-inch aperture wheels, but you can order 19-inch cross-flow wheels, pay extra for them if you want to. Model 3 Standard looks pretty similar to the regular vehicle. Exterior changes are limited to a new 18-inch Prismata wheel design, and there is black badges on the car like there is for international versions with their recent changes. Inside, both vehicles delete regular grades 8-inch rear touchscreens, so getting rid of those rear touchscreens in both Model Ys and Model 3s. Power steering column adjustment, so manual steering adjustment. Wraparound ambient lighting has been removed from the cabin. Ventilated front seats have been removed. Heated rear seats have been removed. Full leather look upholstery has been changed. It's now cloth and leather look trim, a combination of the two. And there is no longer a 15 speaker stereo. That's now a 7 speaker unit. The HEPA filter has been removed. There's now a regular particulate filter. The front seats can now only be adjusted through the touchscreen with buttons on the sides of those seat bases deleted, as I mentioned earlier. And there's no height control for the passenger seat. Unchanged is the touchscreen, 15.4-inch touchscreen, music streaming, navigation, power adjustable heated front seats. They are still there. There is a power tailgate, dual wireless phone chargers, and obviously all the other features that both cars already have that haven't been removed. Model Y Standard, though, removes the panoramic glass roof. It now gets a closed roof. Headlining is upholstered over the glass that's no longer transparent. So the glass is still there. It's no longer transparent glass, so it's a cheaper form of glass. And Tesla have just put like a headlining over the top of the glass that is still there. There is Now, other things that have been removed. The power folding rear seats, they're gone. Front and rear acoustic door glass, that's gone. Auto folding, but still power adjustable mirrors. So the mirrors do electrically adjust, but they don't automatically fold when you get out of the car. Now there's a unique center console with a large open space ahead of the cup holders in place of a covered storage compartment. Not really a big change, to be honest, in terms of the center console. Model 3, it keeps the panoramic glass roof. No changes to the Model 3's panoramic glass roof, but it does delete power adjustment for the mirrors, whereas the Model Y doesn't. Kind of confusing, isn't it? Now, there's really very few cars on the market that do not have power adjustable side mirrors. Manually adjustable side mirrors are very, very rare in both the US and Europe and Australia. Not that I think this is a big deal. I think the more significant things are removing the ventilated seats, changing the interior, making this big change though, the batteries. But before we get to the batteries, both vehicles have had their impressive frequency selective dampers removed, and in place, there is just conventional passive suspension. So the ride won't be as good in these cars either, although they will be lighter because they have smaller battery packs. Battery pack size has been reduced from 82 kilowatt hours in the Model Y rear-wheel drive long range to 69.5 kilowatt hours in the Model Y. So the battery pack is 12.5 kilowatt hours smaller for the Model Y, and claimed driving range has therefore reduced pretty significantly by about a 60 kilometer range reduction approximately. So the new model has 321 miles of EPA range. That's 517 kilometers, which does mean it gets more range than the Australian standard range Model Y, which has 475 kilometers of range. But that's on 18-inch wheels. If you option the 19s, you get 488 kilometers of range. So basically having those smaller wheels is going to get you an extra 30 kilometers of range. Anyway, like I said, you can option on and put the bigger wheels. But if you're going to option on put bigger wheels, you might as well just get the standard range version for an additional $5,000 more, because you're going to get a lot more features. So the original range of the Model Y, or the still range of the Model Y long range in the US, is 575 kilometers EPA, or 357 miles. And because that's the EPA cycle testing, that's real world range. But that's on 19-inch rims. So if Tesla was to offer that vehicle with 18-inch rims, it would be getting well over 600 kilometers of EPA range. The Model 3, it gets the same range as the Model Y, intriguingly. 321 miles, which is 517 kilometers on 18-inch rims, and 303 miles on the optional 19s. So yeah, about 30 kilometers less range on the 19s as well if you option them. But that is a pretty significant reduction from the 584 kilometers or 363 miles of the regular long range. And therefore, you're losing just over 60 kilometers of range in the Model 3 as well. US reports say both cars have been detuned as well, less power. 224 kilowatt, that is 300 horsepower for the Model Y standard, 213 kilowatt for the Model 3. So performance has been reduced fairly significantly. The Model Y does 0 to 100 in 6.8 seconds, the Model 3 in 5.8 seconds, which is actually a massive difference, because the long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y Premium does it in 5.4 seconds. So nearly 1.5 second performance difference from 0 to 100. The Model 3, the same deal, right? It has had its power reduced. So performance is 1 second slower for the Model 3 standard versus the Model 3 long range. Yeah, I mean, 5.8 seconds for the Model 3 versus 4.9 seconds for the updated version. Even DC charging has been reduced. DC charging for the new standard is 225 kilowatt for both the Model Y and the Model 3. So you can see changes to the battery size, changes to the charging speed, changes to the car specifications, ventilated seats are gone, rear screen is gone. I just don't see how people could justify the price change in order to miss out on all these features. Lane centering assist has been removed as well. Lane centering assist has been removed as well. I just want to repeat that. All other safety aids are still there. Full self-driving supervised is US $8,000. That's 12,000 Australian dollars on both cars. There has been one addition though, and this addition has been made to all Tesla vehicles in the US. A front bumper camera has been added to both the Model 3 and the Model Y standard in the US, and all trim grades get these new front bumper cameras that I believe also have washing as well, the ability to wash themselves. The 2026 Model 3 and Model Y, they're available to buy right now, but there's only 3 paint choices. There is Stealth Gray, Pearl White, and Diamond Black. The standard paint color is Stealth Gray still, and if you want to get Pearl White multi-coat, it's an additional $1,000 US. If you want to get Diamond Black, it's an additional $1,500 US. Basically the same price add-ons as the regular Tesla Model Y. Wheel prices, if you want to upgrade from your 18-inch wheels to 19-inch wheels, it is an additional $1,500 US. So really, if you upgraded those wheels to be the same size wheels as what you get on your Model Y and your Model 3, which are 19s in the Model Y and Model 3 premiums, then the price difference between both cars is only $3,500 US. It's actually not much of a difference. And like I said, I just don't think the price has been reduced by enough to really justify the drastic changes to power, to battery size, to everything that these cars have. $5,000 US discount for the Model 3, $5,500 US discount for the Model Y. Do you guys think those discounts justify the deletions in equipment? Is it actually worth buying them? Will they sell well? I don't think they will sell well with all these deletions and changes, but they might. I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. I'm intrigued to know what your opinions are on this. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.